I said, hey, what's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. I'm trying something a little bit new here. Welcome to the Sins Take. I kind of wanted to do something a little separate from the Sins review that I normally do. I'm primarily going to be talking about like movie trailers and stuff, and I kind of just want to see if this kind of works out. So, what else is going on? I just watched the Resident Evil Welcome to Racoon City trailer. So, yeah, and there is a lot going on with that. I'll just, say, like, I am familiar with the games. I actually would say I became a huge fan, particularly last year, during the pandemic. Basically, I'm pretty familiar with the characters. It's supposed to be like, I guess, based on the first two Resident Evil games, 1 and 2. And it's supposed to, like, fit right into, like, I guess a 2-hour movie or whatever. I was a little concerned about that because I feel like they should have just done one at a time. Like this first movie could be, based on the first game, and then they have a sequel based on the second game, and just keep it, nice and clean like that. But my initial thoughts on this trailer is it looks pretty good. It looks pretty cool. And a lot of the characters that they have in there are Claire Redfield and her brother Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Albert Wesker, and Leon S. Kennedy are, like, the major ones there. So it looks like they're borrowing a lot of things from the remakes of the first two films. It also looks like they kind of mixed things. Like, some things feel a little out of place. Like, there was this helicopter crash that happens at the Spencer Mansion instead of the Racoon City Police Department, so I'm kind of concerned with that. But anyway, the trailer pretty much starts out with Claire Redfield, and instead of, like, in the games where she's a college student that just heard that her brother Chris was missing and went back to Racoon City to try to look for him or look for some kind of information on how to find him, they decided to make her, I guess, more or less the main protagonist. It seems like she's going to be pushing the narrative, and she's more of a, I guess, pseudo-journalist. Like, she wants to expose the Umbrella Corporation for, whatever they've been doing. Like, she apparently knows that they've been up to no good and have been experimenting with viral weaponry and all that, and experimenting on, people, and, she wants to, expose them for, all the bad shit that they did. But, and I'm fine with that. I mean, it's a nice little change. It's kind of different from the games. And, Claire Redfield is played by Kaya Scodelario, and she seems to be a good fit for that character. I mean, based on, the clips that we saw in the trailer, she seems to have given a very emotional performance, and and she even looks like Claire Redfield from the games. And then, we have her brother Chris, who is part of the STARS Alpha team, STARS standing for Special Tactics and Rescue Service, which is a part of the Racoon City Police Department. And he's played by Robbie Amell, and, I've heard of him mostly from the news surrounding, this movie, and as well as the other cast members that were announced earlier last year. but he looks like Chris. He seems to give a strong performance. There's Jill Valentine, also a member of Star's Alpha Team, played by Hannah John Kamen, and I know what you guys are gonna say. Yeah, some of the casting choices a little bit iffy on, and obviously, if you know who Hannah John Kamen is, she's biracial, and Jill is actually more or less portrayed as just Caucasian. There was even like a specifics done by Capcom, who is the Japanese company that created Resident Evil. They said like she's French and Japanese, like mixed of those kind of descents, but pretty much Caucasian. So yeah, that's a little thing, but I'm not really too concerned with that. Like, I can still kind of look at her and into her eyes, she definitely, I can definitely kind of see Jill Valentine there, particularly from, the games that I've played. There's Albert Wesker. I forgot the actor who plays him. I forgot his name. But, he kind of has a similar look, but doesn't wear the sunglasses, which I'm not too concerned with all that. I mean, that's kind of just nitpicking. One casting choice I'm really, really super iffy on was Avon Yogia. I apologize if I mispronounced that, but I'm not sure what his race is. He seems like either Hispanic or of Indian descent, and again, I don't mean any offense whenever I like saying this, but again, Leon S. Kennedy from the games is Caucasian. Like, it's just what he is, and yeah, there's this thing with race swapping for the characters. Like, I mean, his performance might be great. He seems like he could be talented enough, but again, I can't really look at him and see Leon. Now, and Leon's not even like one of my favorite characters. I actually, my top favorite characters are Jill and Claire from the games. So, but anyway, I'm a little concerned with that. Anyway, that's kind of it for the casting that I want to talk about. In terms of like the elements that it seems they're borrowing from the remakes of 1 and 2, because that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to portray the first two video games. I'm a little concerned with that. I feel like they should have just done like the first Resident Evil in one movie so that they could include things and it feels more cohesive, and then have the sequel be based on Resident Evil 2. But, this film has already been completed. We've got the trailer, and yeah. But also, apparently we're going to be missing a few characters. Apparently Barry Burton isn't going to be in this movie. He's well known from the original game, and obviously the remake of the original, which included a lot of other elements that made it very iconic as well. So that's a bit of a shame that Barry isn't going to be here. Pretty sure a lot of the fans of the original game are going to regret not being able to hear the Jill sandwich line, and even if they try to incorporate the Jill sandwich line, having someone else other than Barry say it, it's just going to feel out of place, and so I don't really know what they're going to do with that. I do hope they at least try to include like Sherry Birkin, who is a prominent character, particularly when it comes to Claire's story, in Resident Evil 2. I hope they try to incorporate that story somewhat, but it seems like there's a lot of deviations to try to combine 1 and 2 and the groups of 1 and 2, like the Stars Alpha Team and Claire and Leon. But you know, other than that, I think this trailer, you know, it looks pretty cool. I'll probably go ahead and see this movie anyway, and I'll probably do a review of it as well. But anyway, I'm interested to hear y'all's thoughts, you know. And so anyway, this is Jackie Sins signing off from the Sins Take. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you later.